Hey, Jimmy here. Today just wanted to talk a little bit about the Picopresso, something I've been using for best part of a year at this point. And one of these new modern trends, Espresso Soup. Is it the real deal or is it just hipsters paradise? Let's find out. Okay, so what equipment do you actually need? Good question. Well, of course you need the Picopresso. Generally speaking, the Picopresso comes with everything that you'll need, whether that's making soup, turbo shot, normal espresso. If we start talking about the basket that the Picopresso comes with, it will do the job. It's not the best basket in the world though, if I'm completely honest. They do have an IMS basket, reviews of which are not great, actually, so maybe something to avoid. What I have additionally as a modification that I've done is I've bought one of these high extraction baskets. This is just a cheapo job from AliExpress. Much better than the stock basket. Not quite the same as the Swarks one that you can get from the US, but that thing was $200. This one was £20, euros, dollars, something like that. Fairly cheap. You can see it's bowed a little bit at the bottom, but still significantly better than the stock basket. Another couple of extra things I've gotten is a shower screen. This is just to keep where the water comes from, so the included shower screen just keeps this a little bit cleaner and makes cleanup a tad easier. And the last thing that I've got with this is just, it came with the basket is a different cup to prevent spillage over the side. The stock one still fits on the new basket, right? So here's the stock one. Still fits, it just moves around a little bit. The new one I've got here has magnets on the bottom that kind of locks it into place nicely. Makes the workflow super simple. Something I'm considering doing is just, and I've seen online someone's put some magnets in the stock one, so that may be the move in the future. Other things that you'll need, the needle distribution tool that comes with the Picopresso. Not great. This again was another cheap one. It's from online, has some acupuncture needles inside it. See if we can get the camera to focus on that. Just has some, they're not the one, you can't stab yourself with one of these, they're blunted at the end, but does a decent enough job. Plenty of these knocking around online if you wanted to pick one up. What else do we have? A decent scale that can, that has timing on it. Ideal if you don't have timing, you can do it on your phone, but it does to at least 1 decimal place. And of course, a good burr grinder. I have 2 grinders if I'm traveling. I have a hand grinder, so this is a Time More Slim Plus. If I'm not traveling, I have one of these. I'll just move the camera around so you can see. I have a Eureka Mignon Silenzio, and then making sure you just have something to boil water with. Again, kettle just over there. So that's all the equipment that you need. You don't need the extra additional fancy stuff like the basket and whatnot, but it just does make it a much better experience. spill it. Okay, so here it is. Let's give it a try. It's quite funny that something so kind of non-traditional can be so interesting. So how does it taste? In a word, it's good. To give you a little bit more detail, if we kind of break it down. Acidity, really, really bright, right? I can really feel it in my mouth up here, right? Compared to a traditional shot, really, really bright, really acidic. As you would expect from a light roast and a longer pour. This just really amplifies it. The other thing that really kind of stands out to this with me is the sweetness. Very, very sweet shot. As well as the body kind of stands out. Not completely full-bodied. I've had this coffee, this particular bean, right? I've had it in a few different style of shots, so I know how kind of thick and syrupy it can be. If I pulled this as a 2-to-1 ratio, right, in like 30 seconds, it's gooey and caramelly. In this soup style, very, very different, right? The acidity, the brightness is really up there, the sweetness is really up there, but you do get that kind of trade-off with the body. So how does it compare to your kind of classic espresso? It's really different. You're comparing chalk and cheese at this point. So let's round it up. What are the finishing thoughts here? Well, if you don't like light roasts, you're probably not going to like soup. If you're not a big fan of high acidity, high brightness shots, coffee, you're probably not going to like soup. Well, how about using the Picopresso? Well, the Picopresso is very forgiving. Why is it forgiving is a good question. It's very hard to kind of get really high brew temperatures. You can preheat it 2-3 times, you're getting up there, but just because of the design of the Picopresso, it's never really going to get as hot as like ideal, which makes it a little bit more forgiving. The other thing that makes it more forgiving is if you don't have the pressure gauge, like I don't have with mine, it's easier to make soup than it is to make a normal espresso, right? If you think about a normal espresso, whether you shoot for 9 bar or a turbo shot around 6 bar, the pumping action, the pressure spikes up and down, and without the pressure gauge, it's very difficult to understand like what pressure am I at, am I spiking up and down? If you're making soup, super forgiving, there's no pressure involved, right? That's why you want to get crema with the shots. Really easy to pull soup on the Picopresso. And considering the volume of hot water you can get inside of it, the highest volume that I've ever had in a cup is 80 grams as well, so you can pull some decent length ratio. So I've got 18 grams of coffee in here to a 80 gram dose that comes out of it, there or thereabouts. So you're looking around that 4-to-1 ratio, maybe a little bit more. Super forgiving in that aspect. So should you do it? Well, that's up to you. If you have a grinder that's capable, if you have a Picopresso, or if you have something else that can reliably pull a shot, give it a go. Like, why not? There's no wrong way to make coffee, as long as you enjoy what comes out of it. Experimentation, if you have the budget to buy the beans and play around with it, like, why not? If you don't like light roasts, if you don't like long ratios, if you don't like brightness, high acidity, probably not for you, but if you've never tried it, why not give it a go? Hit up your local roaster, see what they have in stock, see if they've got anything really light and bright. If you can get something funky as well, something with an interesting process, like that generally kind of is the best way of doing it, to really kind of get all the different nuance that comes from the coffee. So if you've not done it, give it a go. You'll only find out one way if you like it or not. Until then, ciao for now. So different.